You did everything right, but something still went wrong. Maybe KUCCPS did not place you. Maybe they gave you a course you did not choose. Or maybe life just happened. But listen, this video is not here to remind you of what did not work. It is here to show you what can. Because when the system fails you, you don't quit, you get smarter. Now, who's this video meant for? This is for you if KUCCPS did not place you at all. Whether you miss that placement entirely or did not get your dream course, these alternatives will give you a way forward. Or they placed you, but in a course you can't stand. It does not align with your interest. Now, these options will allow you to change paths. But again, if university feels like a dream you can't afford right now, we shall show you the right way to actually go about that. Again, if you are craving freedom to choose your own path, maybe you want to do something else but still with the same cause, we shall show you how to do it. And finally, if you are hungry to learn new skills and start earning, not years from now, but soon, then you are in the right place. So if any of that hit home, then welcome and let's get into it. Now, the Kenyan's education system may not give you all the answers, but this video, it is designed to give you options. Real, practical, powerful options. 7 of them that can get you learning, earning, and moving forward with your life. You're not behind, you're just getting started, and you're about to see how much potential you actually have. So, before we jump in, let me be real with you. 98% of people who watch my videos never subscribe. Imagine walking into a class that's changing your life and never even saying thank you. If this video helps you even a little, hit subscribe. Not just for me, but for you. Because subscribing means you stay ahead of opportunities, ahead of knowledge, ahead of your own growth. So let's build your future together now. Let's get into the 7 powerful alternatives to KUCCPS without much further ado. The first option is intra-university transfer. As I promised you, this video is going to be giving you alternatives to what you already have. So maybe you've been selected. The first two will really go into KUCCPS portal, right? And what you can do if you have a course that you don't like. So the first thing is usually the transfer. We have two types of transfer. And the first option is what we call the intra-university transfer. So you see, you might be liking your campus, but you can't stand the course. So here's some good news. You don't have to start over. You don't have to wait for next year. With an intra, remember this is intra-university transfer, you can switch courses within the same universities, right? I know it's flexible, but it is again tricky because you need the grades and you need to move fast. There is the timing, there is how different universities offer it, and so forth and so on. That's why I decided that I'm going to break down these options in different videos in longer form. That's why I need you to keep subscribing so that when we give you the next long form video, it will indeed tackle everything, every trick, advantages and disadvantages of each of these paths. So for now, I'm just giving you a bird's overview. And therefore, this is the first option you might consider, the inter-university transfer. So you have to get the course, then you have to join that particular university, and then from the university now you change that particular course. And this one is not done via the KUCCPS portal. This one you have to report to that university, regardless of the course that you've been called to, then now you change between those particular um, faculties that are in the university. That is our first option. Let's get to our second alternative. So let's say it is not just the course, it is the whole university that does not fit you. You can actually switch both. That is the course and the campus through what we call an inter-university transfer. But now here is the catch. You only get one chance and the window is short, very short, probably between June to July, but that can change, of course, because of different things, right? You have to meet the new course cutoff. Again, if you don't know what the cutoff means, you can watch a video that we have uploaded in this, and we are going to put in the description box. You have to get approval from both institutions. There's a whole thing that you have to do because the current university that you are in must approve for you to leave, and even the new university must approve for you to go in. They have very strict deadlines, and this one can only be done via the CUPS portal. It is very hard to do it between universities. Sometimes it happens, but it is via the CUPS portal that is the most easier way. Again, if I was to make this and give you every single detail within this one video, it would be a long video. That's what I'm saying. Be on the lookout. We are going to upload a video that is going to only deal with inter-university transfer and what you need to do. And we're also going to give you a step-by-step tutorial on how you actually can go it, and even an example of a last year's candidate who actually went on to successfully apply for that transfer window. And that now takes me to the third alternative, which is the direct university application. So, if COOPS did not place you or you are tired of waiting, why not go direct? I mean, you can apply straight to universities as a self-sponsored student. It doesn't matter from Mount Kenya University, Strathmore, to even the public universities, UON, KU, Masinde Muliro, Kisii University. These options are open, right? Yes, you need to pay more, but you also get more control. You have more options and even you have more freedom. But again, we have the advantages and disadvantages of doing it, right? And this is just one of the very many things that Kenyans today are running into. I've also seen colleagues, friends who actually go on to study at nearby neighboring countries. For instance, you find that if it is an example of medicine, it is much cheaper in Uganda than it is in Kenya, despite it being a self-sponsored in either way. And therefore, these options are going to be breaking them down for you and what you really need to know, and even other expenses outside just the school fees that you need to pay. So keep in touch, keep subscribing so that once we upload this video on this specific alternative, you will not miss, and therefore you will get all those details as we proceed. Once more, this is just an overview. Let's get into the fourth option, and this is the scholarship. Now, let's talk money. You see, because education should not stop because of finances. There are scholarships out here, but do you even know the type of scholarship? The full ones, the partial ones, the ones for academics, even for athletics, for the need and everything. Do you even know them? Don't worry, because in the full video for this, we shall give you everything you need to know. At this point, I just want you to know that it exists, and I want you to know to open your mind to start looking for these scholarships. But don't worry, because even in that particular long form video, we shall give you scholarships that are present, active, and those that you need to keep on looking, right? We're also going to show you entities such as the Equity Wings to Fly or the Equity Leaders Program. For instance, I would urge any university, any high school student who is listening to me to work so hard so that they can be picked up by the Equity Leaders Program, which can give you a bit of leverage because they have alumni who have gone into these universities, and therefore you'll be banking on their experience. We also have embassies, universities that give. For instance, you find that Mount Kenya University has a platform, or you find that there is local arrangements. For instance, you find that in KU, we have a bit of local arrangements and students are told to actually apply for scholarships within the school. And therefore, those are things that we're going to be covering, you know, and even full tuition, living expenses, and everything you need to know about these things. So just keep in touch. And if you're really interested on scholarships, you can watch that full video that we're going to upload very soon. Then the next type of alternative is combining your current course with short course. You can be telling me, what, the Kenyan student, I don't have that advantage of, in transfers or going directly to the university. I don't have the money. And, I just don't have anything else to do. I can tell you, all is not lost. You can actually get into that particular course and combine it with short courses, right? You might be maybe learning education and your interest was in tech. You can take short courses, and these are things that are free even from YouTube. Others you need to pay a little bit, maybe because of the certificates and whatnot. And by the time you are graduating, you will actually go on to transition. We have seen it happen. We have even seen people who studied medicine, and in between they were studying tech here and there, just a small bit, and by the time they were concluding their 6-year program or whatever the years, they ended up transitioning, right? But the question is, what are these platforms? Where can we get these courses? How can I be able to maybe even turn them into real income. Now that's where the long form video comes in. My advice is keep on subscribing, just like that. Open that comment down there, so that once we post these videos, you'll be able to be the first ones to actually watch them and take on the advantage. Let's get into the next alternative, which is to study online. You see, the classroom has really changed, and now it fits in your pocket. With platforms like the Open University of Kenya, this is something that people don't actually know, they don't actually appreciate. This is a fully fledged university, and it was actually given the charter by the president back in 2023, which means that all its courses are actually verified courses. I know it might be having some, disadvantages of, people or employers feeling that this is not really what they really want, but with time and with how the tech is really transforming the nation, then we expect that these are going to be things of the past. So you need to know how to deal with the Open University of Kenya. Maybe you even don't need to go and physically stay in that university. This is an option that people are actually preferring. It's not an option Kenyans have really embraced, but again, with time, is something that is going to come up. So you might also want to know how to do it. How legit is it worth your time? So in the follow-up, I'll compare the costs, the credibility, and even the career value, so that you can choose wisely. Okay, then finally, last but not the least, you might have listened to all those around you and you're like, I feel like I'm not yet ready. And that's what we call the deferment. So this is again an option, because sometimes the smartest move is to pause, and not to quit. And deferment lets you take time off. That is legally without losing your spot. And deferment is not a crime, it is not a sin. Okay. So it can be finances issues, burnout, or even a personal gap year. And therefore it can buy you time and peace. But you need to do it in the right way. You need to know how to do it, because you can just do it in a kienyeji style, quote unquote, leading to you actually losing your spot in that said university. And therefore, in the long form video of this particular alternative, we shall be showing you how exactly to go about this particular session. Okay. Now, my dear friends, I want you to act now and subscribe, because in the next video, we're going to step by step into university transfers, the forms, the deadlines, examples, so that you make sure subscribe and turn on that notifications. Also drop a comment so that tell us which of these 7 alternatives are you most curious about. And remember, your future is not limited to a KUCCPS portal. It is shaped by the actions you take today. Be sure to watch the following videos on the individual alternatives. I wish you the very best. See you next time.